Hello there, my beautiful Capricorn signs. This is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is all about you, Capricorn. This is going to be a major shift, a major time for you. There's a lot of revelations, there's a lot of clarity, there's a lot of karmic justice happening right now collectively, but especially for you. I do feel like the Pluto leaving and going into Aquarius is causing some major upheavals, major shifts for everyone collectively. So make sure you are looking at that, because we have been in some strange cycle of karma from for the last 16 years, basically. So there's a lot more of the astrology. I'm not a great astrologer, but I do know the general basics. So make sure you're basically checking the moon cycles and where that falls for you as well, because there's some significance here. Now, your energy, when I pulled the tarot spread for you, and I pull a traditional Celtic cross spread, was very wild. It's very major, like a lot of major shifts. There's really only like two major arcana, which is kind of like, I view the major arcana in the tarot as like pivotal chapters in your life of shifting. And I do feel like there's a lot of wisdom you have gained because of your trials and tribulations, Capricorn. And I feel like you're like right on the cusp of like shedding this old skin. And I say it that way because you had the snake card come out, and the snake is about wisdom. Sometimes people perceive snakes as like bad things or bad news or whatever. Like people call each other snakes. But it's really a symbol of, if you think about Adam and Eve and the snake, it's actually a symbol of wisdom. And, when the apple was plucked from the tree of life, the snake was the temptation there. And really the snake brought wisdom and a lesson alongside it. But in life, you can kind of think of shedding old skin as the snake and the metamorphosizing of internal spiritual growth, and that happens when we gain enlightenment and go on a spiritual journey. Now, sometimes we're thrown into a spiritual journey, and sometimes we willingly dip our toe in. It just kind of depends. I feel like for most people, we're kind of thrown into it, and it's a sink or swim kind of test. Now, I don't say that lightly at all. Like, it's a very hard journey to go on a spiritual path, because it's a path less traveled. But I do feel like you are being your own hero at this time. You're saving yourself. And I say that because I was guided to meditate to the song called Heroes by Henze, Henze. So you might want to check out that song or those lyrics. I feel like that might really resonate. Something about the color violet or purple might be significant too, because that's the album cover there. But I do feel like you've been waiting for more clarity or more revelations, and that is coming slowly when we need it. So it's not always when we want it, it's just when we need it. But I'm going to go ahead and dive right into the tarot here, Capricorn. If something in this message resonates, please make sure you smash the like button. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. Now, your current vibe was the Six of Pentacles. This is a Libra card. This is like justice, balance, giving back, self-service, those sorts of things. So if you've been putting out like good juju out there, you're going to get that back full force, because you have the justice here crossing. So this is the cross and the Celtic cross. This is the challenge here, the justice card. This to me screams karma from a past life, karma from this life. All of the karma is coming back around again. Think about the last 16 years and what kind of lifestyle you were living, what kind of landscape, all of the jobs that you've made, and connections you had. A lot of those were probably karmic soulmates that came in to teach you lessons. So like, a lot of the TikTokers on the feeds say like, the last 16 years are about like character building. You're probably tired, Capricorn. I feel like a lot of us collectively are just tired because we've been through so many lessons and so many trials and errors and trajectories and almost like side quests basically on our path to try to find the way. And I do feel like there's healing for you that's happening, because in your foundational situation, basically you have the Aquarius card, the star, and that is a card of healing. That's sometimes a card of wish granted. In this case, I'm not getting like strong vibes on that. I'm just getting like a lot of clarity is coming to you. And I'm also getting like you may have a lot more revelations or a lot more cohesion happening in Aquarius time frame. This, or you maybe your energy, you've been dealing with an Aquarius sign, but I do feel like this is divinely guided. This is a soul connection. This is a karmic love or a karmic past life that you've been going through, because in your subconscious energy you have the 10 of Wands. This is like burdens from the past, baggage from the past. All of those wands are like wounds, and you can almost view them as like awards or markers for all of the trials that you've been through. Now, in your recent past, you also have the Page of Cups. This is like an immature offer of love. Pages are usually like novices, so I always kind of think of it as a more immature energy. Like, it's not really what you think it is, or it's just comes off as I view this as like avoidant attachment styles, abandonment wounds, codependency, trauma, relationships that were based on those sorts of things instead of based on securely attached people, personalities, habits and patterns. And those are things like when you've been through childhood trauma, or you have like mother wounds or father wounds, and you're still healing from those, you attract people on a psychological level and an energetic level who are at the same frequency as you. So until you've done the shadow work, until you've securely attached yourself to yourself, you're not going to draw in the proper connections. But that is a progression. That's a slow and steady race, because you're shifting. And that's kind of like what the snake is about. It's like you're shedding the old skin. So you're not the same person as you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 7 months ago. Like, we're all collectively shifting and elevating. And that's what we're here to do. So you're divinely guided. You are right where you're meant to be. It's just kind of maybe a little bit of a troublesome period of your life. Now, in your current energy, you also have the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe you're focused on finance or saving, or you're feeling like a bit reserved when it comes to your energy or your money, or just like not doing old things the way you used to. And in your potential outcome, or your near future, basically, you have the Sun. This is cool because this is like joy and happiness. Those things are tangible for you. Like, I don't know if anyone told you that. You can be happy. You can be self-sufficient. You can be sustained by your own diligence and those sorts of things. The Sun is a great Leo card. It's also a card of like joy and happiness. Like, maybe you've been afraid because of the past burdens, because of your past. Maybe you've been afraid that those things won't come to you, but they will, and they are, and they're on their way right now. So having an attitude of gratitude is important. Waking up and just writing down like 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. And it doesn't have to be like tangible things. It can be like, I'm grateful the sun came out today. I'm grateful, I had fresh air in my lungs and I woke up with no sinus issues. Like, stuff like that. It's kind of maybe silly, but simple. And those are the little things that kind of add up to make the day shift. And you're shifting your perspective. And when you're starting with an attitude of gratitude, it can get you out of a real funk if you find yourself in those. Now, what's in your control here? 2 of Cups. Again, I feel like this has to do with love. This could be a coupling of some other sort, like a friendship or a family connection, but it's like your choice. You're in control of who you expend and spend your energy on. And maybe you've never felt like you had a choice before. You kind of just took whatever came around. And that has to do with self-worth and self-value and boundary setting in a healthy manner. And I feel like right now you're really moving forward and out of old mindsets. Now, how do people see you? They see you as the 6 of Swords. This is a lovely card to have, because it's like they see that your life was chaotic previously, but that you're really trying to move forward out of those choppy waters and go into calmer seas. And I do feel like all of that internal work that you've been doing is showing up. And that is something to celebrate here. And then in your hopes and fears, you have the 4 of Wands. This is typically a card of engagement or celebration. So like, maybe you're afraid to celebrate yourself. Maybe you feel like the other shoe's going to drop if you try to celebrate anything that's happening. That might be your fear. Or maybe you're just hopeful for this new path now because you have done so much work, because you've done the introspective work. Maybe you are excited for opportunities of love to come in that are actually based on mutual respect and based on loyalty and those sorts of things that are vital to friendships and to relationships. Because any relationship should be built on a solid foundation of friendship first. And that's usually what will sustain you for longevity. Now, in your potential outcome, you have more healing energy. So you have healing twice, the Star and the Four of Swords. And the Four of Wands is here. So 4-4 might be a significant number or an angel number. You might want to look that up. But Four of Swords is like resting, recuperating, contemplation, self-awareness, reflection. Like that's all of the good things here that are potentially happening for you as long as you're doing that introspective work. And that will help you also release a lot of these burdens or past maybe thoughts or mindsets that you're carrying. Because once you can really know yourself, you can come to an understanding of like, okay, I accept why I am here and how can I shift my life? How can I shift my perspective? How can I take accountability without beating myself up or shaming myself? And how can I come from a place of forgiveness and understanding so that I can move forward on my journey? And that is, that's going to help you on a major level. So even just writing down a couple of things that you like about yourself each day may also be helpful, and just to get you out of old patterns or old habits or things like that, and learn to appreciate yourself and know your value. Now, that's what I have, Capricorn, when it comes to the tarot. If that did help, please make sure you smash the like button. It helps my channel grow and I greatly appreciate it. Just remember, energy is fluid. So if this message doesn't sound like it resonates for you, it might be somebody in your energetic field that needs to hear it. So if you feel guided, please make sure you, forward this video to someone. But I am going to dive into the oracle cards, and I pulled a bunch in my pre-shuffle. I already mentioned the snake, so I'm going to go right there first. Now you have be sensitive to your healing abilities towards yourself or others. Now you might be seeking maybe therapy or somatic healing, such as like Reiki, meditative healing. There's red light therapy, things like that. Those things are helpful as well, because when you start to heal your physical body, your auric body heals a little bit too. And I'm seeing a rainbow for some reason. I'm not sure why. There's not really anything here. I don't have like a prism, but I'm just seeing rainbow colors. So rainbow colors might be significant for someone out there. Or, you're going through this hardship and it's like you're trying to find the rainbow after the storm. And it is happening for sure. So it says, this moon card says, I release all negative thoughts of the past and all worries of the future. This card is about basically being in the present moment. And that's kind of a challenge for most of us, because sometimes we find ourselves looking into the past too much, and that leads to regret and remorse. And when we find ourselves looking too forward into the future, that can cause anxiety. And that's where those things stem from. So it's basically a fine dance, a tightrope walk of trying to be right in the middle. And sometimes that's hard to do when you're trying to figure out where you're going or what you're healing. You need to look in the rearview mirror to heal from the past. And you need to kind of also be forward thinking. So it's a bit paradoxical, that card, but hopefully that helped. Now you have the deep knowing card, number 43. That's your inner gnosis. That's trusting yourself, trusting your guidance. When we've been through toxic relationships or deceit or betrayal, sometimes we find ourselves second guessing all of our decisions, because they're like, wow, how can I even trust myself if I let that person, get one over on me or get 10 over on me? Like, how can I even trust my own judgment? And that is going to be a slow and steady race as well. As the universe puts us through more lessons and more tests, it's going to be a slow progression of like learning to know yourself all over again. Now you have the vision card. This is from my Power of Love deck. It says, no matter what, you see the big picture of a loving and just universe. I think that's just a reminder of like karma and intention here. Because if you have good and pure intention and you're coming from a place of authenticity and truth, you're going to reap what you sow. You're going to get good karma coming back into your life at some point. Now, you might be like, well, why am I having such a rough time right now? Maybe it's from past life karma that you're not even aware of, that you're healing and going through, because for the last 16 years, a lot of us have been clearing karma from other lives. And I feel like that is a bit difficult to comprehend when you're getting slammed with a lot of different lessons. Now, you have the moon cards. Both of these flew out. This is from my moon oracle deck. It says a new start is coming at the new moon. And look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Now, there is going to be moon in Sagittarius, and I do feel like that's going to be a significant shifter for a lot of us when it comes to love. You might want to see where Sagittarius falls in your chart, but I do feel like something about Venus and Sagittarius is important, and there's going to be a shift for you. Wow. Yeah, and then the chakra card I just pulled for you is about heartbreak. So there's still insecurity there when it comes to love, and what your expectation is from a partner or a person. That's shifting. That's changing. It's like shaking you to your core. Heartbreak is sometimes the catalyst for change. Sometimes it's like the most painful catalyst, because it can really... It's kind of the crack that lets the light in. There's a quote by Rumi that says that, and I think that's like, I can't say it any better than he did, because it's just very true. Like, heartbreak leads to a lot of revelations and a lot of shadows that we didn't even maybe realize we were carrying. But that is what enlightenment is about. So when we have the rose-colored lenses ripped from our eyes, it can shift a lot of things, because you get a lot of revelations, you get a lot of clarity. And wow, yeah, something about marriage or a proposal or calling off an engagement is... Maybe that was also in your hopes and fears section, now that I get that, because I was fidgeting with my ring earlier. I didn't really think anything of it, and then the ring card came out, and also the forest card. So maybe you couldn't see the forest through the trees, or someone couldn't see the forest through the trees, and called off an engagement or a marriage of some sort, because there's a lot of, I don't know, something important about a ring. And the forest, camping perhaps, a yurt, I don't know, Oregon. I'm just getting a lot of strange messages, but somebody needs to hear that, so hopefully that resonates. And then you have, for your third eye, intuition, develop. It says surrender your mind to greater possibilities and break through your own limiting belief systems to see what's out there. What could your intuition guide you towards if only you let it? Again, I feel like that's just building up that inner gnosis, building up that self-trust again, because sometimes we will doubt ourselves over and over and over again, because we are insecure and we're not sure which way to go, and we're not sure what's the right move. But everything is a choice. You know, there's good choices, there's bad choices. Ultimately, you will choose one way or another, and even indecision is a choice. So, you know, there's no foolproof way to go through life without some sort of hiccup or without trials and hardships. It's just not possible for anyone. So try to use discernment, and if you can't use discernment, you can always look to a mentor or a guide or a life coach, wink wink, for help or for assistance and guidance. But ultimately, no one can tell you what to do, but they can help you on your path, and hopefully collectively we can help each other on our journeys and help raise the vibration, raise our frequency, and elevate ourselves and one another at the same time. And that's what service is about. That's what we're here to do, is to serve other people and help other people. Now, the last card I have for you, Capricorn, is from my I Ching deck. This isn't how you traditionally pull I Ching, but this is how I do it for the reading. And it says, you are rich either in material goods or in knowledge, wisdom, power, energy, talent, or relationships. Whatever form it takes, you have something real and potent in your possession. That which you have or are, you can give, and this pure potential is an opening to source and a promise of abundance. Given all you have, who will you be, and how can you affirm and support what is good? This is number 14, great possession. So this is about the abundance within yourself, and if you're coming from a fear-based state or an insecure place, you probably don't feel like you're very abundant, or maybe not stable enough right now, emotionally, spiritually, financially. And as you shift and elevate your vibration, you're going to find those things. They are going to come to you naturally. That's kind of the law of attraction, because we are electromagnetic beings and we vibrate at a certain frequency. And when we do that, it attracts in certain things and people at certain times when we need those lessons or blessings or both. So yeah, lots of heavy stuff there. And if you feel guided, you should check out there's a book called The Gene Keys, that if you're like wondering, like, why am I here? What's my soul mission? What's my soul purpose? And I say soul in both ways, SOUL or SOLE. So like, if you're wondering which one it is, maybe it's both of those things. But I do believe we have many purposes. So you might want to check out the book called The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. It's tied to the Tao, which is tied to the I Ching. And it incorporates our astrology of when and why we were born on certain days and places and times, and what our soul mission is here, and what the major lessons in our life are. Excuse me. It's a very intricate, something with my throat chakra. It's a very intricately detailed book, but I highly recommend it if you're trying to understand your purpose here. So, all right. That's what I have for you, Capricorn. Hopefully this video helped. If it did, please smash the like button. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in a one-on-one coaching session, please make sure you reach out. You can book on my website. If you want a personalized tarot reading, you can book that on my website as well. If you want to enter to win a free tarot reading, you can leave a comment in the comment section below, and then I will draw someone for that prize on December 1st. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.